Am I the a-hole for refusing to sell my house to my sister-in-law? I, 36 female, and my husband, 39 male, recently moved into a new house. We were still in the process of selling our old place when we got invited to a family dinner with my husband's mother. We were talking about our new house when my sister-in-law brought up the fact that she too was buying a new place. However, when we asked her about it, she told us that she was intending to move into our old house. At first, I was very open to selling the house to her because she is expecting a child soon and was looking to move out of my mother-in-law's. But when I asked her what she was going to offer, she laughed it off and said, "We're family. Can't you just give it to me?" At first I thought she was joking, but then she went on talking about how my husband and I are so well off that we don't need the money. This caught me extremely off guard, especially as my mother-in-law started agreeing with her and expressing how my sister-in-law needs to save money for the baby and how we should just give her the house. I looked over at my husband, who seemed to be in disagreement but wasn't willing to speak up. When I told her we weren't willing to give it to her for free, she and my mother-in-law got very upset, which resulted in us leaving dinner early. Ever since then, my husband's sister has been messaging and calling us non-stop, calling us all sorts of names, while simultaneously asking when she will be able to tour her new home. So am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. These people have mental health problems. Sell that house as fast as you can. That will end the problem. It only solves the housing problem. It doesn't solve the issue of the sister-in-law being a spoiled, entitled a-hole, and the mother-in-law being an enabling, entitled a-hole. And don't even get me started on the cowardly, enabling husband. He didn't shut this entire situation down? Yeah, this isn't the last OP is going to have to deal with these people. Yeah, this is OP's real issue. Completely unattractive guy right there. Yeah, I'm far more concerned with the husband than I am with the sister-in-law and mother-in-law. I also don't think OP fully understands yet how problematic her husband's response, or lack thereof, actually is. I mean, demanding a free house is so utterly outrageous and hilariously absurd. And he's not even appalled and disturbed by their behavior, nor is he going to stand up to them. Yeah, the husband's going to be the biggest issue here for OP going forward. Not the a-hole. Your mother-in-law and sister-in-law are insane. And I'm sorry, but your husband is being wimpy. He needs to contact them both and tell them to stop with this complete nonsense. Now, sell that house ASAP. I'd make sure they don't have keys, or else they'll move her in when they aren't looking. Not the a-hole. My dad had been interested in buying a flat in my block for years. When I sold mine, he did a viewing, and I was very worried about it because he might find stuff I didn't know about, and then it would cause issues between us. I told him this and said how uncomfortable it would make me, and that if he did want to buy it, then he'd have to go through full surveys, etc., as well as same procedures as any other buyer. Also that if I got a better offer, I'd sell to them. I did sell to him in the end, as he was a cash buyer who offered the asking price, and I'd only had 2 offers, one needing a mortgage and one below asking. Neither was a first-time buyer, and I'd have chosen them over my dad. Doing this stuff with family is super dodgy and uncomfortable. And if you're doing it, then it has to be through all the formal channels to ensure it doesn't come back to bite you. My feeling anyway. Am I the a-hole for not letting my niece live with us when we let her brother live with us? A couple years ago, my nephew was getting into a lot of trouble and got involved with a very bad crowd. He was even arrested by the police for vandalism, then got in a fight with a kid that goes to his school, so he got expelled. Even if they could afford to move, my brother and his wife didn't think it was right to make their other kids switch schools and move because of their brother's mistakes. They considered continuing with a different school online, but they thought it would just make things worse, considering this started when he was stuck at home alone doing school online because of COVID. They didn't want him to end up dropping out, not graduating, and getting even more involved with the bad influences that got him in trouble in the first place. Since he had no other option, my brother asked me and my husband to take him in so he could go to school where we live and get away from the people he was involved with. We live in a different state far away from them. We had a long and hard conversation about it, and in the end we said yes, but that if he comes live with us, that we are completely in charge. It was really rough when he first came to live with us because we were very strict with him. However, in the last year he was here, we did lighten up on the rules since he was seriously putting in an effort to do better. We got him going to school regularly, involved in healthy and safe extracurriculars, even a part-time job. He was behind in school and had to repeat a year, but we were able to get him to bring his grades up enough to graduate this year. His family all came for his graduation 2 weeks ago and stayed with us. I thought we had a great time. We spent a lot of the trip at the beach, which I live close to. My niece did make some remarks about how she thought him coming here was supposed to be a punishment, but it's better here than at home. So my brother called me the other day and inquired about his daughter coming to live here with us next year, since her brother was moving out and his room would be free. I said no. My niece has good grades and has never gotten in trouble like him. She doesn't need help from us. We already did my brother's family a big favor in taking in his son for almost 2.5 years. And while we got used to having him around, we are really looking forward to having our home to ourselves again and not having to deal with a teenager all the time. We are not people who ever wanted the responsibility of kids. We only took in my nephew to stop him from going down a dangerous path. My brother, to his credit, said that he understood it was a big imposition and that we already did him a big favor. But his daughter is upset and thinks it's unfair that her brother got to live with us where it's so much better. She feels like he got rewarded him for being a thug, while she has never gotten in trouble and is stuck there. My brother says he feels bad and he wishes he could give her the same opportunity. Edit. I noticed a lot of people are suggesting we let her stay with us for the summer or visit for a week. I feel like it's only fair to be honest, but say that we aren't open to that either. For one, we already have plans this summer. We also really don't want to have any guests for the foreseeable future. I don't know how long that will be. We may feel differently in the future eventually, but we don't want to make any promises if we don't. Not the a-hole, you were helping out family in a time of crisis. There is no crisis now, no need to continue. Otherwise, you'll have to turn it into a tradition. And like you say, you never wanted the responsibility of kids, and your niece wants to impose this on you. It's now up to your brother to correct this with his daughter, otherwise she'll grow resentment towards you and her brother. Does the daughter want strict rules? I mean, what's the point of moving there if you have a curfew, responsibilities, chores, schoolwork, and extracurriculars she'll now be required to partake? Does she thrive under rules like these? I think the negatives weren't explained well enough to the daughter. Just the amount of oversight would be enough to dissuade me. Those all sound like things she most likely has back home. It was a vacation for her, she expects it to be the same. It seems like she and her brother need to have a real conversation so that she doesn't feel like she's being punished for being good. It's easy to go somewhere and only see the nice things about it when you're not there living. My concern here is that she will begin acting out in order to be transferred to your home for rehabilitation. It will still be a no. She and her dad can kick rocks. Am I the a-hole for not inviting my parents to the ceremony where I'm getting an award and bringing my friend instead? I'm getting a community award, and I didn't invite my parents to the ceremony and dinner, and they are upset about it. I don't want them there, and I don't think I'm wrong for it. For background, my brother is gifted. He has a high IQ that is in the top % of the population, and he was a child prodigy. He was ahead of the other kids at school, and even the teachers. It was hard for me because I'm not gifted. Me and my brother were born in the same calendar year, only 10 months apart, so everyone thought we were twins unless someone told them. I always got compared to him, and I was never good enough. No matter what I did or how hard I tried, it was never good enough for my parents. Everyone compared us, but my parents were the worst. My brother went to university when he was a teenager, but he didn't last long and failed out. My parents just told everyone it was because he was only a teenager and not ready emotionally, even if he was smart enough. The truth is that my brother can't handle not being the best at everything, or not being treated like he's perfect and wonderful. At university, he wasn't coddled like he is by my parents, or the teachers, or everyone else in town. He couldn't get away with treating other people badly or doing whatever he wants, and he can't handle that. He also can't handle it if he isn't the best at something. It doesn't matter if it is brain surgery, plumbing, putting down a sidewalk, or driving a car. Outside of his bubble with our parents in town, there were people who are good at things he is not, and he can't handle it. Since his first time going to university, he's gone 3 other times. Once before he was 18 and 2 times after. He has never even made it a full year. He can't hold down any kind of job for the same reason. He always has to be the best and can't handle being told what to do. He still lives with my parents and doesn't work nor go to university. He still likes to lord it over everyone how his IQ is in the top % of the population and how gifted he is. It does not work outside of his bubble, so he stays in it. I left school when I turned 16, which was as soon as I could legally. I hated school because of being ignored or told I was stupid compared to my brother. I know you can't tell kids they are the best and most special all the time no matter what they do, because they will end up like my brother. But I was never told, good job, or that I was good at something. No matter what I did, I got ignored or compared to my brother. When I left school, I got a job at a hair salon. The other hairdressers were amazed when they found out I cut my own hair. I ended up finding out I was good at cutting hair, and I became a hairdresser. Now me and the other hairdressers at my work are getting a community award for our work. Besides our regular work, we go out and cut hair for the homeless population. We do hair for events, like school graduations for kids who can't afford to pay to get their hair done. We also help people who have or have had cancer or other medical conditions that cause hair loss. So we are all getting awards for our charity work, and then there is a dinner for all the community award winners. We can bring people, but I didn't invite my parents. I am very low contact with them. They are my only family, besides my brother who I don't talk to, and my uncle who I am also low contact with. I don't know how they found out about the award, maybe social media. They used to love being the parents of a child prodigy, but now they are all excited to have a child who is getting an award. I think it is too little too late, and I told them I don't want them there, and they suddenly can't tell me how great I am after all the time they spent telling me I'm inferior to my brother. They want to be there instead of me bringing my friend, because they say it will look bad if they are not there. Am I the a-hole? I know it is just a little award, and that I'm not saving lives making world peace as a hairdresser. But this award is important to me, and I help people feel good about themselves. The first time one of the other hairdressers at work told me I was good at cutting hair, I honestly cried, because no one in my life ever praised me or said I was good at something. It was the first time. My parents never did, so I don't think they should get to see me get the award. They are not happy about me calling them out for how they treated me versus my brother. I have never said anything like that to them before, and they are upset I was disrespectful to them. Not the a-hole. Please let me say good job. It is very unfortunate, but your parents don't deserve to watch you receive the award, nor partake in the evening. This is yours, and you get to choose who is there. Thank you. Congrats on your award. This internet stranger is proud of you. And don't diminish the good deed you're doing. Even if it seems small to you, getting a good haircut when you can't otherwise afford it can do wonders and can mean a lot more than you know. Not the a-hole. You are being recognized for doing a good thing, and you're allowed to decide who to share this moment with. Your parents have always failed to recognize you, favoring your brother instead. They haven't earned the right to celebrate with you. If you are so inclined, you could tell them what they need to do in order to start earning that right, but it's entirely your choice. I'm not saving lives making world peace as a hairdresser, but this award is important to me, and I help people feel good about themselves. Helping people feel good about themselves is important and can be transformational. For all you know, you may very well have saved lives. Congratulations on your award, and thank you for helping others. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband my stepchildren are his responsibility? Long story short, I, 30 female, told my 34 male husband that his 2 children from his previous marriage are not my responsibility. When my husband and I first got together, I would help him with my stepchildren all the time. He was not financially in a good spot after his divorce, so I bought the kids necessities for the house, made sure they had birthday and Christmas gifts. Almost anything they wanted or needed, I would help and make sure they got. Fast forward, we've been married going on 5 years now, and over the years I realized that I spoiled my husband a little too much. That everything from making sure we had money for different things, to paying bills, cooking, cleaning, etc. I do have to point out that he was for a time struggling to find a good steady job, but he now has a really great job, and for once making more than me. But I'm exhausted from not only taking care of him and my stepkids, but also the 2 kids we have together. I tried asking him to help me, and he would, for about a week or 2, and things would go back to the way they were. I finally had enough, and told him that from now on he has to help me around the house, and I don't mean just mowing the lawn. And that my stepkids were his problem. They need clothes, you figure out how to get them some. They want something, it's all on you. Birthdays, if you don't plan it out and buy them a gift, sorry, not my job. Christmas, you need to find out what they want/need, because I'm done. The sad part is, I told him these 2 years ago, and ever since, neither have had parties or gifts for their birthday, because he didn't plan nor buy them anything. Now Christmas, I just can't let them go without a few things, so I still try to get something, but our 2 kids still get more. I feel bad because my kids that we have together always have parties and gifts, because I planned and buy them myself. If I left it up to him, they wouldn't have anything either. As bad as I feel, I still think it's his responsibility. So am I the a-hole? I see everyone here blaming her. But what about the husband? Those are his kids, and he's not doing anything for them. I mean, yeah, it was kinda mean putting the consequences of your husband's lack of support on the kids, but it's also understandable after so long asking for the same, and him just not comprising to it. Buy your stepchildren their stuff, but also have a very serious conversation with your husband about the situation. Just head on tell him everything. He's certainly being too much with putting all that on you, when 4 kids is sure as hell a work of 2. But what about the husband? Those are his kids, and he's not doing anything for them. 1. She knew this at the start. 2. She knew this when she got married. 3. She knew this when she decided to have kids. Husband was suffering the consequences through divorce, and soon the kids would have learnt the true nature of their father too. But Opie shielded the idiot and got involved in the kid's life. I'm exhausted from not only taking care of him and my stepkids. Why do you think his first marriage didn't work out? His first wife most likely did everything for him. He got divorced and immediately found a new wife to support him financially and emotionally, support his kids financially, and was a maid cook planner. I feel bad because my kids that we have together always have parties and gifts because I plan and buy them myself. Okay, but I'm assuming the mother is planning things for him, even if your husband isn't doing anything? Your kids get gifts/parties in one house, and they are getting in 2 houses. I'd be worried that if you died, your husband would find wife number 3, and your children would be raised by someone else. He is totally useless. He is not a partner, and he is not a father. Not the a-hole. Edit. People saying she is an evil stepmother are overboard. Why isn't he the evil father? She is just saying to take them to buy them clothes. So because he doesn't do that, she is evil? She even has to tell him they need clothes. She has a job, does all the chores/cooking/planning/cleaning, and raises 4 kids. How is she getting the time to also have to go shopping, party planning, etc.? What is her husband doing with all of his free time?